Hello, everyone. Whose opinion here? And today we're not joined by the Watcher because he's fucked off.
Ah,
He is starting his own show called Who Cares. He is now fired from all podcasts as I don't want a two-faced bastard on my show. So instead, I've got the biggest two-faced bastard I know, Connor. How you doing, Connor?
hello.
Um, you're now promoted to director of this cast. How'd you feel?
Well, I've been there before. I got,
And I'm sure you'll be there again.
yeah, I got fired from there, and then got replaced by a whale. No disrespect um, to that particular whale. Um, and then yeah, I'm back again as clearly as director now because I've been promoted. So
You were replacing the Watcher because he has abandoned us for his own show, Who Cares, which is a ripoff of my name, Whose Opinion. Therefore, I have the rights to take him to a legal battle because I own the copyright to anything beginning with Who's, anything mentioning Who's in it. I own that. If you type www.whoseopinion, it comes up with me, my channel. So be warned, Watcher. But anyway, today we're here to discuss Series 10 of Doctor Who, and we've got some we've got some pictures and some stuff for Series 10. Like we've got the confirmation that episodes 6 till 8, I think it is 6, 7, and 8 are going to be a three-parter featuring the monks, which look pretty interesting. They're getting quite hyped. They're hyping up these monks. What do you think about the monks, Connor?
I think they are religious haters.
We can't mention religion. We're going to get taken off the air.
um, I was like at first, I was like, these people, these things, these creatures look shite because
Don't hate on the monks.
they're like pyrovale like things, and they just look really throw away and easy to beat. But three stories, and from what we know of episode 8, seems like world domination.
No, I agree.
Actual world domination, because anyone that's seen any of the filming pictures would know that it seems like a society run by these monks, a bit like Donald Trump.
We don't want the president of the United States to take down Whose Opinion. Apologize, Mr. Trump.
so
You are a good man.
So yeah, actually, the idea is growing on me. The one out of them three that I'm looking forward to most is probably Extremis, which is episode 6. But
Written by Stephen Moffat, isn't it?
yeah, written by Stephen Moffat. But Toby Whithouse is a very solid writer, and so's Peter Harness. So I think giving the three parts to them three is a good decision. They could have had. To be honest, I was just gonna suggest Jamie Matheson, like perhaps contributing to it, but
yeah, he might be like a little prequel.
He could do a small prequel. Yeah, I know. I've heard that there is a slight connection in that episode as well. But he's better with his own ideas. So I think to have Moffat, Harness, and Whithouse do a three-parter is about as solid a writing lineup as you're going to get. Yeah, it seems like they've got some really just trustworthy writers this year. I mean, apart from maybe Cottrell Boyce, every writer has had some fantastic episodes written by them.
I would agree with that. Oh, well, I would agree with that to an extent. I think Stephen Moffat's the only one that I would worry about.
Yeah, Moffat's like self-explanatory at this point. Cottrell Boyce, as I said, has had a pretty bad one, but he could redeem himself.
I think he will. I've read a few of his books before, and I think he's got a lot to offer. Yeah. And I think maybe he was given the cheapest episode of Series 8, so he didn't really have a chance to kind of show us what he's got. But
yeah, and then you've got Sarah Dollard, who wrote perhaps one of the best. Well, not perhaps, definitely one of the best. One of the top 3 of Series 9.
And I would say one of the best Clara stories, in my opinion.
Yeah, one of the best Clara stories. And then Jamie Matheson, who I think at this point, sorry, Mike Bartlett, who's a new writer who wrote Dr. Foster with one of your favourite actors, Bertie Carvel.
Yep, who I would love to be the 13th incarnation of the Doctor, but we'll have to see on that. But I've also heard in episode 4, which we believe is called Knock Knock, we're gonna get sorry, is it Mike something? The guy who wrote it?
Mike Bartlett, yeah.
Yeah, Mike, but apparently he had like hardly a word rewritten, so it's gonna be very original. Like Moffat's not gonna tamper with it, so that's gonna be interesting, I think.
Yeah, that's my most hyped. Then Jamie Matheson, who at this current standing moment is my favourite New Who writer. He's absolutely fantastic. Even the girl who died, I loved.
Yeah, I have to agree. Like, I think he's written the best Capaldi stories. Like, you've got Mummy on the Orient Express, which is a classic. People regard that as the best of Series 8. However, I think that his second episode, Flatline, was my personal favourite. Really like that one. And then, obviously, Girl Who Died was written by Moffat as well, co-written. So,
Yeah.
I think that The Girl Who Died was good up until the ending. I didn't really like Maisie Williams' character, so when she was brought back from the dead, I was a bit annoyed. Like, I wish she had just died and stayed dead.
Yeah. Then you've got obviously, as we said, Moffat, Harness, and Whithouse. Harness had a tough time with it with Kill the Moon, but actually I really like that one, and I loved the Zygon 2-parter. It's my favorite. It's probably one of my favorite 2-parters, if not my favorite.
I like bits of that 2-parter, but overall,
I think
forgettable.
he's a bit like Matheson in that he's like one of the best writers of the Capaldi era, I think.
No, I would agree with that.
Yeah, and then obviously Whithouse, who has written for pretty much every Doctor apart from Eccleston since its return.
One of my favourite probably my favourite new Who writer.
Yeah, very, very solid writer. Never really puts a foot wrong.
I don't think he's done a bad episode, to be fair. I mean, what's he done?
Really no.
School Reunion, great. Vampires of Venice, really underrated. I really like that one. God Complex, my favourite Matt Smith story. Then for Series 7, A Town Called Mercy, which again, underrated, great. Didn't do one for Series 8, but he made up for it because he did a 2-parter in Series 9, Before the Flood and Under the Lake.
Yeah.
Or is it Under the Lake and Before the Flood?
Under the Lake and Before the Flood, yeah, which was a great 2-parter, I think.
Probably my favourite 2-parter of that year.
Yeah, and then you've got who's after that? You've got it's not Gatiss, is it? Yeah, it's Gatiss. Yeah, Gatiss, who we recently Doctor Who .tv released an article today about these Ice Warrior episode.
Can we get that up?
Yeah, we could do, I suppose.
As your director, you have to do these things. I'm just here to host.
I might as well just screen share it.
As long as we do not get flagged for copyright. Don't put any music on. No, this is actually my most hyped episode. Can't wait for this.
So in the latest edition of Empire Magazine, issue 335 out now, Doctor Who showrunner Stephen Moffat and the 12th Doctor Peter Capaldi have been speaking about their final series together. During the interview, there are a number of juicy nuggets of information regarding Series 10, episode 9, written by Matt Gatiss. We already know the Ice Warriors will return, featuring a new kind, according to its writer. But now we've been given new information regarding the story. Read on if you dare. Spoiler.
Do we dare? Do we dare?
I think we dare.
We dare. Go on. Live dangerously.
Empire describes the episode as a Jules Verne-ish spectacle. With scenes on Mars, it features a Martian mine, red sand, and a giant futuristic drill-like weapon of massive provenance. That is interesting because I think...
Go on.
Like red sand, Like, imagine that on the screen, like on a big screen. Like, it'd look amazing.
It's
I
going to be
think.
very cinematic, I think, this one.
Yeah, I can see it being very cinematic as well. There's a conflict between Zulu war era British soldiers and an awakened horde of ice warriors. That's the most fascinating bit, actually.
You see, the way they mentioned the big drill, and then they mentioned the awakened ice warriors, it's reminded me a lot of the Silurians, the John Pertwee story, because obviously they were woken up by a big drill. So and like in that Matt Smith shit one, Cold War, I think it was that one they were woken up by the big drill. One of them it was a big drill um, that woke them all up. So that's a bit familiar.
Then there's a pivotal three-way face-off with the Doctor, British troops, and the Ice Warrior. Turns on a key intervention by new companion Bill. Don't know what that means.
Very intriguing though.
That made me immediately think of the war speech in the Zygon 2 parts, because that's sort of like a three-way face-off where you've got Kate, Zygella, and the Doctor, and the Doctor is just basically talking to them and trying to convince them out of fighting.
That's true.
Which might be quite similar. There might be a similar sort of scene. At one point, an ice warrior is referred to as an upright crocodile. That
Nice description.
I don't have a bleeding clue what that's going to look like, but
Maybe
that's good.
I'm the thing that interests me about this is the Zulu War British soldiers, because the Zulu War, I think that was in the early 1800s. I'm not entirely sure, but how they're on Mars, that's interesting.
Yeah. You can read the full interview there. Doctor Who Series 10 airs on 15th of April. We know that already. I'm sorry.
That is nugget of news there. I can't.
Yeah, it's big news.
The Ice Warriors. I like how they say Ice Warriors. We're not just gonna have one this time.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking forward to this. I think this could really be, because apparently it's gonna be Mark Gatiss' last script, or what, like it could be his last. So
yeah,
it'd be nice for him to go out with a bang.
Yeah, just a good story for once, because he's really on and off as well. To be honest, he's like Moffat.
I quite like Gatiss. I don't think he's really let me down before. There's been a few that are a bit like, nah, but nothing to the point of like, ugh, can't watch that again. Even Victory of the Daleks, it's pretty shit. I could rewatch it just to moan about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a guilty pleasure of mine, I would say.
Yeah. Then you've got, which I think is most people's most anticipated.
I know it's The Watchers.
Yeah. Rona Monroe is back after 26 years. When she wrote Survival, the very last story of Classic Who. And she's writing The Eaters of Light, which is about the disappearance of the Roman Ninth Legion in Scotland in the 2nd century, which will be quite interesting. You were mentioning earlier that about it being a pure historical.
That's my theory.
I hope that's what it is.
Because I know Moffat was toying with the idea. He said he's always had this idea, and obviously Moffat's from Scotland, and this is like a mystery of Scotland. So that's me just trying to play Sherlock here and fit the pieces of the puzzle. Like,
Yeah.
I think if they're going to do a disappearance would be interesting, because you could do that without having to have aliens, and the story's there for you.
Yeah.
It's like with the Agatha Christie story in series 4, like it was about her disappearance, but obviously they used a giant wasp or whatever it was, a Vespa form.
Yeah.
But it probably will end up being a normal episode of Doctor Who, but it'd be quite nice to have a historical, especially for Capaldi as well, because he's quite a classic Doctor.
Yeah.
It would hark back to like the William Hartnell years.
I think it might genuinely be a pure historical.
I hope so.
Um,
Plus, it's at the end of the series, so it'd be quite cheap to do a historical. You wouldn't have to have any aliens or spaceships or.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But then that obviously that leads us into the 2-part epic finale.
Yeah, which I think is nothing short of packed. Judging by
Yeah.
what we're hearing, Capaldi, Gomez, Bill,
Nadal.
Nadal,
Nadal.
Nadal to the
You have to
top.
say Nadal.
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 Um, and you've got the Cybermen, Mondasian Cybermen.
The 2006 era Cybermen.
Yep. And then you've got
Oh, and the 2013 Cybermen.
yeah, the 2013 Cybermen, and you've got Roger Delgado.
Wow, wow, wow.
He's returning. Well,
Beyond
not
praise.
he's not even returning because this is the first time we've seen Delgado since 1973, 74,
Yep.
which is a bloody long time ago. So that's what I'm hearing anyway. So yeah,
Recent filming pictures would suggest that that might be true. Could we get that up?
yes, we could.
We can speculate on this. This is an exclusive. Whose opinion? Um, let's see if we're copied by other podcasts. This will be interesting.
Oh man.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yep.
And obviously, this ties in. I think we can say this now because it's been leaked before about the Christmas special.
Yeah, David Bradley is returning as the first Doctor.
So, two Masters, two Doctors.
Yep.
That would be interesting. There you have Peter Capaldi on the left.
Yep.
In his lovely jacket. And then you have Michelle Gomez playing Missy on the right. And then next to it, sandwiched between her and Capaldi, is who we believe to be the actor playing Roger Delgado's The Master. So we think this because many of the costume, like there's a few theories saying that it's just a Capaldi double, but they look completely different for a start. No grey hair. There's no shirt, and you can tell that by the cuffs on the hands of the Delgado. There's no cuffs, the white cuffs. He's holding his hands behind his back as well, which is something Delgado's master has been seen to do before.
Yeah.
And just the way he's standing next to Missy, and the Doctor looks a bit. I know you can't see his facial expressions, but his posture is a bit shocked, a bit like the Missy reveal in Series 8. And they're quite calm, just standing there. And the fact that this was filmed, wasn't it top secret filming? Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, it was pretty much lockdown filming. No one was allowed anywhere near the area.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was very, very secretive, which suggests it's something massive, and that would be the biggest thing of all if a master returned, because we've never seen that before. In the context of having another master there as well. So
That's only been done on Big Finish, hasn't it?
yeah, so
Be a first for TV.
your first, yeah, which is huge. And Moffat wants to go out in style, so I suppose that'd be one way of doing it.
Two Doctors, two Masters.
Yeah, two Doctors, two Masters, Cybermen, new companions,
Nadal.
Nadal.
I mean, the only thing that puts me off of this is the fact that it's Moffat and he's going to cram all of this in, and it will just be cool visuals. Oh, look, there's a Mondasian Cyberman. Look, there's the Master. Look, there's David Bradley as the first Doctor. Oh, look, there's the Doctor. There's Missy. And then it'd be like, that's it. It would just be cram, cram, cram. Story would be really rushed and there'd be so many plot holes and it'd just be like, nah, there you go. That's what's worrying me.
Yeah, and also because it's it'll be like Capaldi's second to last episode. You want him to be the focus and not everyone else.
Or if it's going to be Bill's last episode, have it focus it on the Doctor and Bill.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling that Nardo will be around for Christmas. I doubt he'll be on afterwards, but I think he'll stay on
He
as
could very well do, yeah.
the Christmas companion. Just to see the Doctor off. And I think whether Bill stays or not, I reckon she'll still make a cameo at Christmas, like during the regeneration itself, much like we've had in the last few regenerations of like Amelia Pond returning, and then obviously David Tennant held in his regeneration and visited every companion, well, people who weren't even considered companions in his regeneration. So I think we'll probably see Clara and Bill somehow.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But it's shaping up to be a very interesting series. I mean, we've only got the first. I think we've got like 2 titles confirmed: The Eaters of Light and the pilot, but
Yeah,
also heavily. Oh, and Oxygen Extremis, of course,
yeah, Oxygen and Extremis.
which is episode 5 and 6.
Yep.
And then it's highly speculated that episode 2's Smile, episode 3's Thin Ice, and episode 4's Knock Knock, which I think are pretty cool titles, to be fair.
And episode 11 is the Converted, I think was said.
Yeah, the Converted. And I've heard Return to the Hospital is 12, but I'm pretty sure that's not it. Sounds too weak, and who knows, it might be like the Two Masters or something.
Oh, yeah, it could be, to be honest.
They could be covering it up.
It won't be long until we get episode titles, actually. We're
Next
definitely gonna get the episode titles for the first 3.
Thanks to Doctor Who magazine, which comes out on the 9th, I believe.
The 6th, I think. So.
Oh, 6th, even earlier.
They'll probably be getting that next week, maybe. Give us that. Then we'll get the other ones. Judging by the other 2 series of the Capaldi era, how they've done it, it's about 5 or 6 days before broadcast, so it'll be either the 9th or the 10th.
Yeah, or they might just release it with the Doctor Who magazine, just the full.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I reckon they'll do something like that, because if you're going to release the first 3, you might as well do the rest.
Yeah, I suppose so.
But it'd be very interesting, because like episode 1, there's so much from the trailers that we know and from filming, but I just can't see how it's going to fit into a plot.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Moffat describes the finale, because if what we believe to be true is true about David Bradley, Roger Delgado, the Cybermen, Missy, the Doctor, you know, how do you hint at that without giving anything away?
I mean, the whole Roger Delgado thing, obviously they're going to have to recast him because sadly he's dead. But are they going to do a CGI thing? Have they got the budget for that? Like a Rogue One?
That way, they'll just probably have to recast someone.
Any idea who?
I have a feeling actually that they might go for Jonathan Pryce.
Oh,
even though he's a bit old, because interestingly today they re-released, even though it is comic relief and it makes total sense to do it anyway, they re-released Curse of the Fatal Death.
That is true, and plus that's already on the comic relief thing, so there's no need for them to do it on. It's already on the comic relief website, the YouTube channel. So I thought that was a bit odd that they would re-release it.
Yeah,
I think he'd make a great. Well, we've seen him as the Master. Obviously, he played it for comedy, played it for the humor, played it for laughs, in the Curse of Fatal Death. But I think he'd be quite good.
He doesn't look an awful lot like Delgado, I don't think. So they might go for someone that looks a bit more like him.
I reckon if they did the makeup and stuff.
Yeah, I suppose you could touch him up a bit where.
And he's older now as well.
Yeah.
So that might work in his favour, but it's very interesting. Also, something that kind of adds a bit of truth towards this is the fact Doctor Who magazine have recently included this incarnation of the Master into their comic strip with the 12th Doctor.
Yeah, that is very interesting.
Because when I heard this news, it made me think of that, and I was like, oh, that really is odd. Maybe they were like foreshadowing it. Who knows? Because the comic book, like this comic story, this comic strip, it's not finished yet. I think it finishes next week. It concludes then, next issue. So, will be interesting to see how that finishes, how that ends.
Yeah.
is if because they've done it before where they've hinted in Doctor Who magazine, the comic strips. Like there was a thing about Clara's the Doctor forgetting Clara in an issue before that episode aired. So very, very interesting to see how this all builds up and if it pays off or not. I mean, do we know anything about Christmas other than the fact we're seeing the first Doctor return?
No, and of course Capaldi regenerating. That's all we know.
Yeah,
Um,
I know that Chibnall's writing the dialogue for 13, but that was kind of inevitable.
yeah, so that'll be like the last two lines at most.
Yeah, a few little remarks and then it'd be off. But I'm looking forward. Well, I'm not looking forward to the regeneration at all, but I've got hope. At least it's going to be interesting from what we can hear.
Yeah,
Like it sounds watchable. But
yeah,
are we still thinking it's going to be the Cybermen in that episode?
yeah. I think so. I think they'll carry over to Christmas.
Fair enough. Sounds interesting. So the only Daleks we're going to get this year is episode 1 then.
Yeah, which will be hopefully a very short cameo and nothing too major.
And even then we've got the Movellans to kind of give them something to work with.
Well, that'd be a lot. Yeah, it's a lot more interesting when you've got something like the Movellans there rather than just the Daleks. So I suppose.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, actually, I think there's not a bad part about this series yet. Every
And
sounds great.
yeah, I agree. I mean, I know a lot of people are already like shitting on the emoji bots, but I'm gonna give them a go. Like, I think they could work.
Even
Like,
that looks interesting. Like that was the one that I need really selling on, and the two trailers that we've got sort of did that in a way. And
I mean, no, go on, go on.
I think that was the purpose of those two trailers, because if you noticed in the two trailers, they focused on that episode the most, it seemed.
Yeah, even like when they're doing the BBC One drama trailer, they use clips from Smile, and they keep promoting these emoji bots. I think they're trying to like get them out there for merchandise sake, because obviously emojis are quite popular.
Yeah,
An emoji monster. I think they're going to be like the new adipose, like deadly but cute kind of thing.
yeah.
Sell that, but I'm looking forward to it. I mean, the visuals alone of episode 2 look stunning. Like, didn't they film it in Spain? A part of it?
Yeah, in Valencia.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
In a very futuristic looking city place, which yeah, looks
In
fantastic.
a cornfield with bees or whatever, they're like a swarm of something.
It all visually looks fantastic as well, actually.
Mm.
Like we already mentioned, the Ice Warrior episode looks great. You've got the spaceship of Jamie Matheson's, which looks like a.
It reminds me of Bad Wolf, Part of the Ways, Satellite 5.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be on a space station. It looks very. It resembles that.
Yeah. Then Smile looks very colourful. The episode 3.
Frost Lake.
Yeah, that looks great as well. They're in fact, even one thing I will like, Nadal, as Capaldi likes to call him, and Bill, they've added a lot of like colour to the TARDIS, because what they always seem like, Nadal's always wearing quite colourful clothing.
Like red or burgundy.
Yeah, and so's Bill, because you know we've obviously seen Bill in the very multicoloured stripy top.
The rainbow colour.
It's a lot less bleak than it was with Clara, and it just looks a lot more exciting to look at.
I mean, even Capaldi, like the clothes he's wearing, especially his grey costume, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, and one outfit I forgot about actually that's in the trailer, when he says "bring it," the red shirt with the usual coat looks great.
And the Sonic shades, aren't they back?
Yeah, they're back as well, it seems.
And I'm also hearing the guitar's been on set.
Yeah, I've heard that as well.
Which I don't mind, to be fair. I know a lot of people hated it, but every now and then it's alright. It's just not every episode.
Yeah.
And I don't mind the Sonic shades either, to be honest. It's different to the screwdriver all the time,
Yeah.
so I'm happy with that. And is it episode 8? The guy who was in the Husbands of no, not Husbands, sorry. The Return of Doctor Mysterio, the Harmony Shoal, the brain creature went inside the unit soldier. He was spotted on set or something.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, which is interesting.
I mean, for me personally, this three-parter sounds really cool, and I do like the look of the monks. And they remind me a bit of the Mummy from Mummy and the Orient Express, like the mummified look of them. But I kind of hope I want them to be in every single episode, like as the main dun 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 mustache twirling villain. But I would like them to have like each episode to have its own identity, kind of, because obviously they've got three different writers, which I think will bring its own identity. But I'd like them to have like their own mini villain, like maybe Harmony Shoal for episode 8, um, Missy for episode 6, and then something for episode 7, just to give it that kind of like unique episode feel.
Yeah.
Because obviously it is Capaldi's last series, and three episodes are being taken away to focus on one story, which is great because it means a story is going to be developed, but it's taken up episode space. So it'd be nice to have like individual feel to each of them,
Yeah.
which I'm sure it will because it's different directors for one of them and different different writers. So it should do.
Yeah, I imagine so.
But
I am looking forward to getting like all the episode titles and down in concrete and all the small synopses that Stephen Moffat likes to give us.
yeah, I agree. Just to see how much of the rumors are true
Yeah.
would be interesting. Like episode 3 is really interesting because we don't really know the villain for that. Like, yeah, we've got this giant snake thing, but is that the villain? I've heard that the guy the Doctor punches, I can't remember his name, the actor said he's the villain for it, but
I think that'll be an episode where there's like several. There's a human villain. There's an alien villain. There's like several villains that aren't particularly threatening. They're like comedic sort of villains. Maybe apart from the serpent, which could be really scary if done right.
it could kind of be like an episode similar to Beast Below, where the giant space whale's made out to be the villain, like, but it's actually not. It's the humans. I could see that, like the giant serpent creature doesn't actually want to be under the lake. It wants to be free or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Be interested to see if it's alien as well. It could be like Silurian or Sea Devil ish. Like
Yeah.
not an actual Sea Devil or Silurian, but like a dinosaur or something. Kind of like how the Silurians have frozen dinosaurs before.
Yeah.
I think it's a really interesting series because we know so little. I mean, we know ish basic plots, but we don't really know what's going on. Like even episode 1, we don't really know what's going on.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm really excited for it now. We're only 3 weeks away.
I know, like it's coming quick. And in these last 3 weeks, I think we're gonna get maybe another trailer or like another teaser. We're definitely gonna get more episode news.
Yeah.
Especially episode 1. I think they're gonna start promoting that.
Yeah, we should get like they usually release it 2 weeks before it airs, like details of like what time it's on at, how long it's going to be.
I think it's 7:30. I think that's already been confirmed.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's
Or it might have been for an America only.
yeah, yeah, basic cast, probably guest cast. I think we're planning. Are we planning on doing a live reaction thing to that?
Yeah, I think that's what we're planning because we were going to do a live reaction, then like give our brief opinions at the end, rewatch it, then we could all come on and do like a what we actually thought kind of thing.
Yeah,
Be quite interesting. It'd be quite interesting to get everyone's live reactions as well
yeah,
because it's something we never really do.
yeah. We could do that probably for the whole series if everyone's free. If not, then like for maybe important episodes like episode 1, the 3-parter in the middle, and like the last 2, something like that.
Yeah,
Or the Ice
Like,
Warrior one as well.
yeah,
Included.
definitely the Ice Warrior. I mean, that's the one I'm most excited for because apparently this is the one Mark Gatiss has been toying with for so long, like since Cold War. Like I recently watched the Cold War commentary actually, and he says like, "Oh, I've got a really good idea set on Mars, but I don't want to talk about it." He's like, "Just imagine an army of these things." So very interesting.
Yep.
But I think that's it. I think that's all we've got to talk about. Unless there's anything you can think of.
No, not really. Not at the moment. Hopefully, we're able to do more before when we get news before Series 10 starts.
But something I did want to mention is like the tone of this series. Like the first 5 episodes are being like referred to as something you'd find in the Tennant era from like series 3 or 4. And for me, that's a good thing. I really like David Tennant's like opening episodes of like a series, like series 3 or 4. No, when you'd have like an episode, the opener would be set on Earth, then you'd have like an episode in the past or the future. Um, I really like that kind of stuff, especially for a new companion. You kind of introduce the premise of the show to them episode by episode. Like one week we'll go to the future, the next week we'll go to the past, and we'll have one in space. Like, I don't know what you thought about that.
Yeah, I quite liked that format actually. I think Tennant, fun wise, has the best episode format. Like as you said, you had one that was set on Earth in the present day, then you had the future or the past, or then you had one set off world.
Then you'd always have the two-parter, episode 5 and 6, or
Yeah,
4 and 5. I'd love them to go back to that. But obviously we have the three-parter, so
yeah, that'd be big.
but I've got a feeling episode 10 was moved from episode 9 for a reason. I'm thinking maybe the Ice Warrior episode is too similar, tone wise, like a returning villain for the finale with like a massive war or something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because
Yeah,
they've done that before with Series 6. Like they swapped Night Terrors with the Curse of Black Death. What's it called? The Curse of the Black Spot.
yeah,
Yeah, because apparently it was tonally quite similar to the first half of Series 6, which was quite dark and torches and stuff. So they wanted to move it around, but
yeah.
it's very interesting.
I think also, even though the Ice Warriors are great, it's better when you think about having the first classic writer to return is the one that's basically kicking off what's leading into the finale. So that's a better position for her. That's the position I always said I either want her to take episode 9 or 10. Like when I heard that, like not even when she was announced, when the fact that classic writer was returning was announced by Moffat at New York Comic Con. That was always the episode slot that I wanted her to take. So
No, I agree. I mean, oh, hey Daniel.
Hi, what's up, guys?
We're just doing a Who's opinion. Happy birthday, by the way, for the other day. Heard you turned 30. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Well done. We're just talking about Series 10. Is there any episode you're looking forward to?
The Cybermen episode. I really want to see how the Mondasian Cybermen appear. Do you think it's like maybe he crosses his own timeline, he goes to the First Doctor era, or maybe Missy brings the Mondasian Cybermen to the 12th Doctor era?
I think it's going to have something to do with time, like time's collapsing or something, and it's bringing back certain characters and variations of the Cybermen. I mean, what do you think, Connor? How do you think they're all going to be brought into it?
I just think it's going to be a typical, the Doctor messes with his own timeline and things go crazy, sort of thing.
I mean, Daniel, we're hearing news that Roger Delgado's incarnation of the Master is going to come back alongside Missy.
Oh yeah, that's great.
I mean, what do you think of that?
Yeah, that would be great. I would love to see Roger Delgado back, but like they're gonna bring back like the found footage of him.
No, they would recast him.
Oh, okay, that'd be cool.
But they also apparently bringing back David Bradley as the first Doctor for the Christmas special.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be like the two Masters versus the two Doctors with Cybermen.
That would be really cool.
It'd be packed, but we'll have to see. Apart from the Cybermen, is there any other episode you're looking forward to, or an episode you're not looking forward to?
The Christmas episode. I don't know if this is true, but I heard a rumor that there's like the cracks in time return, and the what do you call the human doctor comes back with Rose?
The Meta Crisis.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true,
Oh.
but I'm not saying it isn't. But I haven't heard that. I don't know about Connor. Connor, have you heard that?
Nope, I haven't.
So gonna have to. I wouldn't like that. I don't think it would fit into Capaldi's era as well as the first Doctor would. Like at least there's that personal connection with Hartnell being the first Doctor Capaldi saw as a child, whereas the Meta Crisis Doctor and Rose Tyler and the cracks in time aren't really anything to do with his era, or anything I think he'd want associated with his era. But hey ho, as we said, only 3 weeks to go now, so looking forward to it. Anything you guys want to say?
No, not really.
Daniel, anything you want to add?
Actually, I forgot.
Okay then. So, if you ever remember what you were going to say, feel free to pop back on.
Who would you guys? Sorry about that, but who would you guys want as the next Doctor? Like each of you.
Bertie Carvel.
I want a woman. Maybe Hayley Atwell. Quite good, I think.
Anyone but Hayley Atwell. If we have to pick a female Doctor, I would say Michaela Cole.
Yeah, I'd say Michaela Cole as well, actually.
I know the Watcher really wants her as the next Doctor. He's a big campaigner for Michaela Cole.
Yeah, he isn't.
I would like Rowan Atkinson to be the Doctor.
He would be good, but I think they're going to cast someone in their 30s. In fact, on Comic Relief tonight, there was Graham Norton was interviewing 35 guests or whatever it was, and Matt Lucas was on there. David Tennant was on there. The one you like, Connor, from Fleabag was on there.
Yeah, Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Yeah, she was on, Phoebe. And then the one from, is it The Replacement?
Oh, Vicky McClure.
Yeah, she was on. It's very interesting. And actually, when Matt Lucas was speaking, it went to Phoebe a couple of times when they're talking about Doctor Who. Not in relation to her being the 13th Doctor, but just about how secretive like jobs like that are because she's in the new Han Solo movie.
Yeah, she was. I heard that she was talking about the Han Solo movie. So.
She was saying like sci-fi, you can't really say who your character is, but I think that kind of rules her out for being the Doctor.
Yeah, I think she's too busy.
You know, she's also doing another series of Fleabag.
Yeah, she's got the second series filming in November, so that'll be around the time when preparations on series 10 start.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sort of does rule her out.
But I don't know. I think it's going to be very interesting. I think this Doctor is definitely going to be someone different. I think they're either going to be a woman, which is more likely than someone of color or an ethnic minority. But I wouldn't want a woman Doctor, just because I don't think it's right for the show. I think that it needs to be a male character because it's a really good role model for young children, especially men, like young boys and young teenagers. I think there's not really many like male role models out there. that are that good. So I think the Doctor is one of them and should stay one of them. Not saying that a female Doctor couldn't be a role model for young men and boys, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
An actual male. But I wouldn't mind if they cast a black Doctor. That'd be cool. I'd be cool with that. Wasn't it William Russell's son?
Yeah, Alfred Enoch, and also David Harewood, who played the Prime Minister in End of Time.
Oh, what, Joseph Naismith?
Yeah.
He was a really rich guy, and his daughter wanted the immortality thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want him. I think he's a bit too villainy. But the other one, what was it, Michael or David?
David Harewood?
No, the one Connor just said, William Russell's son.
Oh, Alfred Enoch.
Yeah, Alfred. I quite like him.
Well, he was very good in Harry Potter, from what I remember.
Plus, he kind of fits the demographic they're looking for.
Yeah.
And he's William Russell's son, so...
Yeah, so he's fan appeal.
Can't really argue with that. Even the Watcher couldn't argue with that. Although I doubt he'd want a black person. Because he's a racist. He hates blacks. No, I'm only joking. The Watcher, to my knowledge, is not a racist. Comment down below if you think he's a racist. Flag him. Jokes. Any other comments before we wrap this up?
No, not really. I think that's pretty much everything covered.
Anything Daniel would like to say?
Nope.
That is cool then. We shall wrap it up. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time for another Whose Opinion. Whose opinion is it today? Ha ha ha. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye for now.